Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome on in to our Valley News Now desk. I'm giving you a little bit of a preview here of our Skycam over on the Corwin Auto Skycam we got going on here. It looks like we got another pretty hot day ahead of us. You could see a little bit ago that this camera was moving just a little bit in that wind, and we do have a first alert weather day on our hands this morning, or all of today, I guess. And again, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alex Larson. Like I was saying, we got a first alert weather day on our hands. We got 3 in a row. This is the last of 3. So, lots to go over. I'm going to take you over to our website straight away this morning to show you how our first alert storm team is expecting this to play out. So, I'm going to pull this up for you here. Give me 1 second to get this loaded up. All right. So here I am on the Valley News Live homepage. I'm going to hop on over to the weather tab. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to get an update pretty soon here, but it looks like our first alert storm team is tracking more heat, wind, and fire risk on this Tuesday. Lots to be aware of as we take this day on. So I'm going to scroll on down for you here, see what we got going on. Looks like in Fargo, we're going to reach about 94 degrees. It's going to be pretty windy today. I'm going to type in a zip code here. Let's hop on over to Grand Forks, 58201. See what we got going on there. And you can do this too. You can type in your address wherever you're located. Our first alert storm team has this updated for you. It looks like 96 at the 4 o'clock hour in Grand Forks. We're going to hop on down here, see what we got in our 11-day planner. It looks like that's going to carry on over into tomorrow. We're still going to be seeing those 90-degree temperatures, but check that out. If this is not your cup of tea, Thursday we're cooling down to 72. Friday we are really cooling down to 55. You can see that, wow, from that 40-degree difference from today to Friday is going to feel pretty intense, but it looks like we're also going to be getting some rain. Our first alert storm team will be tracking that for you, and obviously that is much needed as we head on into that. So we're going to hop into the news we got covering for you this morning. I'm going to hop back over. We've had 2 juveniles who were taken to St. Francis Medical Center in Breckenridge. So that happened after an ATV crash on Sunday. According to the Richland County Sheriff's Office, 3 juveniles were on an ATV. They were going north on 182nd Avenue Southeast, and they tried to turn on a Myron Road near Wahpeton. So that driver lost control and went into a ditch and rolled. None of the riders were wearing seat belts. And we do have new developments too this morning regarding the former CEO of Epic Companies. A foreclosure case is going to go to trial next year. So back in October 2024, Bravera Bank filed the foreclosure suit against Henry Land Holdings. That's a subsidiary of Epic Holdings. So in that suit, the bank is seeking roughly $3 million in mortgage payments. Former Epic CEO Todd Burning is among several defendants named in that foreclosure suit. A court trial was set for February 2nd, 2026 in Ward County. Also, Epic Companies did formally filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. That happened in July of last year, of 2024. So Burning is also named in a separate civil suit as well. That's in Cass County, and it involves multiple plaintiffs and defendants, and they're seeking $300,000 in investments there, the plaintiffs. And the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives is now offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest for the arson of a Tesla charging station. If you remember, that one happened outside Shields in Fargo back in March. I'll pull some video up here, see if this rings a bell for you. Well, authorities say that surveillance footage did capture someone entering the parking lot, igniting a fire on the base of the Tesla charging bank, and then leaving. Nobody was hurt in that, but an ATF special agent for the region said of this crime, deliberately setting fire to a power station is not just reckless, it endangers lives and critical infrastructure. If you do have any information about this, you're encouraged to contact Fargo Police. Over in Walsh County, voters will decide the fate of their local jail at the polls As it stands, their current jail is 50 years old, and 2 questions are going to be on that ballot. One for up to 20 additional mills to help fund that project, and a 0.75% sales tax. Both of those need to pass for construction of this jail. And if you are in Walsh County, you can head on over to the Farmers Room of the Walsh County Courthouse from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. to cast your vote. And a Moorhead woman was found dead in West Fargo last month, and now her family is speaking out, claiming her death was suspicious and demanding that more is done about her case. Valley News Team's Harrison Prey spoke with family, and he's got her story. I'm going to pull that up for you.
We don't even know really what to tell her right now.
That's the aunt of Bea Rosa, a 26-year-old mother who died in the early morning hours on April 25th. Danielle was the one to tell Bea's 2 sons that their mom isn't here anymore.
We don't have answers ourselves, but we just let them know that she's an angel.
West Fargo police say that after an initial response from officers, there is no indication of suspicious circumstances. The family and others believe otherwise.
We still have no answers. The family has been threatened by the individuals.
Christy Goulet is an executive director at Indigenous Legacy, a nonprofit organization that serves the urban and indigenous population. She's still looking for answers after hearing the death of Rosa.
There's a lack of trust that this case will even be investigated properly, brought to justice, and the people who are still walking the streets think that they have the right to intimidate us and that we are just going to say, okay, we'll live under this threat of intimidation.
The family believes Bea was taken from downtown Fargo to the home in West Fargo where she was killed. Police do not believe that was the case. Regardless, Danielle wants more to be done, as she believes there's more behind Bea's death.
You would think that it's just another overdose and they're just sweeping it under the rug because it's a minority overdose.
Right.
What about the overdose that happened at the gas station? Look at how fast they got that. Look at how fast they got the drug dealer on that.
Right.
What about
What about ours?
Don't matter?
Right.
Our family don't matter?
In Moorhead, Harrison Prey, Valley News Live.
So Goulet says that she understands that law enforcement may be understaffed and are doing what they can to address Bea's death, but she says she just wants the people who have threatened Bea's family to be held accountable. Now on to the measles outbreak in North Dakota. That continues to rise after more cases were reported in Cass County over the weekend. So that brings the state's total amount to 11. 2 cases, one at the Essentia Health at the Lights, West Fargo. We're going to take that here. Other over on 52nd Avenue. So your child is supposed to get the first vaccine around 12 months old. Second shot is when they're about 4. Health experts do want to stress, though, the second shot is not a booster. It's a 2-part vaccine. Let's take a listen here.
About people that received the MMR vaccine from 1963, 1967, because that was a non-live vaccine. However, most of those individuals don't have records. So in the absence of a record, of an immunization record, we would recommend the MMR vaccine for all adults.
So this Thursday, Fargo-Cass Public Health is having an MMR vaccine clinic. That's happening from 7 to 1 at their 25th Street location in Fargo. You do not need an appointment to go, but if you do plan to, you should bring your insurance information. And nearly every Minnesota county and about half of North Dakota's are under red flag warnings. That's due to the dry, hot, and windy conditions we've been having. And you've known that if you've paid attention to our first alert weather days these past 3 days. Over in Moorhead, crews responding to 2 fires on Sunday, including one at the Moorhead Yard Waste Compost site. In Fargo, they're not seeing much difference. Fargo Fire Department responding to 4 different fire calls on Sunday. That included one at an apartment complex.
I would not burn. I wouldn't do recreational fire. All the open burning is restricted, but even a recreational fire is just a really poor idea.
So as of Monday evening, the size of the fire near Brimson, Minnesota, called the Camp House Fire, is about 1,250 acres. That's according to Minnesota Incident Command System. Now, Republican Kendall Qualls has announced he will run for Minnesota governor in 2026. So if you remember, Qualls also ran back in 2022. He is a U.S. Army veteran and former executive in the healthcare industry. Qualls will be holding an event tonight. That's in St. Louis Park. It's called the Kendall Qualls Kickoff Campaign for Governor. And District 46 Republicans have announced that Representative Jim Casper is back in Fargo following his unexpected medical event. Representative Casper suffered a brain bleed back in April and has been hospitalized since then. He did make his way back to Fargo last Thursday, though, and he'll continue his rehabilitation right here in Fargo. He served in the North Dakota State Legislature since 2000. And we got a traffic impact alert for drivers in the West Fargo area. Do not panic, though. It is not coming today. It's coming this weekend. You got a little bit of time to prepare, a lot of time to prepare to change your route. If this is part of your route, you got to take that day. Parts of Cheyenne Street are going to be shut down. That's from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. All the way make way for the Red River Spring Market. Exciting news there. Now, this does include the downtown area as well, from south of 3rd Avenue to north of 5th Avenue. If you are in this area, expect some delays and detours during that time. And thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday morning. Remember, you can catch this morning recap stream every weekday during this 7:30 time frame, where I'll be breaking down our top stories we covered this morning, as well as what we got on our plate for the day ahead. You can find this on Facebook, YouTube, and live streaming over on our website and app. I'm going to sign off here, but I'll catch you right back here tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday and stay cool out there. I'm Alex Larson. We'll see you then.